Hey everybody and welcome to Talk Chain. Today we're going to talk about Tether dissolving its relationship with its auditor. We're also going to talk about Ether reaching not a new all-time high but actually being pumped pretty nicely, which is refreshing to see. We don't have Rob in video format, but we have a nice picture of Rob up above, so everybody can enjoy that professional photography. We do have him though. He's there, right?
Rob is here. No, I'm actually on the video as well, but it's just I'm frozen outside currently. Canada, not ideal.
Right, right. So everybody can gaze into Rob's eyes in the picture and enjoy him that way and listen to his pleasant voice.
Nice.
So today we're looking pretty green across the board. It's very refreshing to see this. The total market cap's about 600 billion, with Bitcoin making up a third of it as per usual. Ethereum up about 10%, around 1200, with everything else kind of hovering below 10% gains. Icon's got a nice pump going on right now too, and Rob will be very happy to see that.
Big day for Icon. You know what? I think everyone was waiting for that Walton change to happen, like that Walton event to happen, and as soon as that was over, everyone's focused on Icon,
Yeah,
including myself.
yeah, it seems like the Walton thing was kind of a dud, or people were expecting a lot more from it, but I'm still up quite a bit on Walton, and I believe in the project long term, so I'm definitely holding.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep some Walton, um, but that changes by the hour mostly.
Sure, typical Rob trading strategy. So let's talk about this Tether thing. So an article, or Tether announced yesterday, late yesterday, that it dissolved its relationship with its auditor, the auditor being Friedman LLP. And this, some people saw this coming because the Friedman website itself actually removed Tether as one of their clients. And it just, for anybody who's been cautious about Tether, everybody in the back of their heads is like, oh, this audit will come out and either it'll be good or it'll be bad and we'll know then. But, to end a relationship with an auditor, it just makes people wonder, is there something fishy going on here? Is it actually going to all come to a head and all these tethers that have been issued are actually worthless?
Yeah, I don't think that they would be worthless. It's not like there's going to be zero backing behind any of the tethers that are out there, but there could be a discrepancy from that preliminary report in September saying that it was fully backed. But I think, yeah, it does raise some concerns. I personally wouldn't keep any money in there right now just because of how it's all unfolding. And you can see that some people are taking their money out based on that little bit of a dip it's taking.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's super frustrating because like the easiest thing, the best thing they could have done is just release an audited report and then everything would have been fine. But given that now there's this drama, it's just, what do you really believe? And the tether printing continues, and it's hard to know whether or not there's anything, whether it is legitimate. I tend to think it's legitimate because their whole reason for being is that it's legitimate, and to artificially pump Bitcoin with this technique hasn't even been proven to be very fruitful. Like, it was useful up until Bitcoin started to decline to 10,000, but it's no longer useful. So I don't know what to expect really.
Yeah, I think I forget the exchange. Is it Bitfinex? That is the main exchange.
Yeah, they're the ones that
Yeah,
are.
I think
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah they're issuing it. Yeah, I think if Tether goes down, I think Bitfinex goes down, and I think a lot of people are gonna kind of panic. I think that could cause that, if anything, will cause whatever bubble that people think that we're in to
Hmm.
pop. That would
Yeah,
be devastating for everybody.
yeah, it'd be brutal. So the total supply of Tether right now is $2.2 billion, which is a lot of money. It's not so much this core value, but it's the fact that this money can be leveraged to, so multiples of this money can be used in the entire supply of crypto. And if all of that is proven to be worth, I don't know, a tenth of the value or a quarter of the value, it'll crash all the markets temporarily.
Yeah, definitely. Well, in the preliminary report, they confirmed that there was what 440 million of cash reserves in September,
Right.
which covered all the outstanding tethers at the time, but it's now 5 times that amount.
Yeah.
So it's hard to know whether or not they've kept up the pace with that.
Yeah, and also it's not clear like why. So the real question is, why did they dissolve this relationship? Like, was was Friedman giving them data on their finances, and they just didn't, and Tether just didn't like it, so they fired them? Like, it'd be nice to know more details on why this relationship dissolved. And their statement here is kind of vague. It just says, given the excruciatingly detailed procedures Friedman was undertaking. So, you know, a firm that's going to audit your stuff, you want them to be excruciatingly detailed. I mean, that's what people want in a full audit. So this really doesn't instill a lot of confidence in Tether at all, and it definitely makes me nervous about this.
Yeah, it shows that they're hiding something, whether or not they actually found it, whether or not Friedman actually found whatever it is that they're hiding or not, it kind of remains to be seen. It'll be interesting to see if they eventually come out with some sort of report or some sort of statement, because it looks like they're not returning anybody's calls or emails.
Say that last part one more time. It looks like what?
They're not returning anybody's calls or emails.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, true. You mean Friedman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely true. But given that they're no longer in a relationship with Tether, and a lot of the information might be proprietary, they might not have the legal ability to tell anybody any more information. But Tether's going to have to find a new company, and they're going to have to say something, because people aren't going to believe in this anymore, and they're going to be very cautious about investing in Bitfinex.
Definitely.
But so I'm trying to think of different ways I can hedge against this, and I mean, holding no Tether is definitely my first go-to, but I feel like everything is going to pop if it comes to light that the amount of tethers aren't actually backed by USD.
Yeah. I think the safest way would be to keep it in. I guess there is the DAI that we were speaking about last week, Maker's DAI, which is supposed to be similar in the fact that it's a utility coin. Other than that, there are just your safe bets of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, any of the other very not stable but more secure tokens.
Yeah, and everybody just to be careful and realize that if you're actually doing a long-term play, that the money that you have in is for long-term investing, not necessarily short-term trading. And just realize that if you're actually going to be doing some short-term trading, that you're aware that if any of this news comes to light, it's probably going to have a negative effect on everything.
Well, I think that that's kind of the case with every sort of news source, right? If Warren Buffett says that Bitcoin's going to fail, the markets drop 10% for some reason. So it seems to be no matter what happens or what sort of like major news happens, but if any major news happens, it affects everything.
Yeah, that's true. It's just here there's been an inflated amount of money coming in. So like Buffett saying what he's saying doesn't actually translate into legitimate dollars not being there, whereas this actually means that there's actual value that has fraudulently been in the market.
That's a good point.
But I mean, you're right though. I mean, news is news, and that's what it is. So I don't know, but I'm just I'm going to be cautious about this and sort of maybe take out some of the money I have in all of crypto, just so I'm not too shaken up if this does come to a head.
Yeah, it might be good to, or even just pause putting what you may put in the near future.
Yeah.
And until it all kind of clears up a bit.
Yeah, that's probably good advice. But today we're doing pretty good. So let's talk about Ether a little bit,
YOLO.
Rob. So Ether's doing quite well, up 10% in the last 24 hours. And I don't know if it's based on this news, but I did see this article that looked interesting. How their sharding roadmap is nearly done, or at least part one of it is. And for those who don't really know about sharding, I had to look it up because I'm not the most technically savvy when it comes to this stuff. But basically, sharding is allowing partitioning of the network so that not every single node needs to know the entirety of the Ethereum chain in order to do its work. So it makes the scalability problem less of an issue. So it looks like this is going on, and it's nice to see that there's development in this area, just so that that scalability problem doesn't become such an issue as it is with Bitcoin right now, which I think is really holding Bitcoin back. It's nice to see Ether coming up with sort of a solution to the scalability problem, at least the beginning parts of a solution.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of effect that has, and like how fast or how much more improved the approvals will be for any transaction.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that this has got to be the reason for it jumping up. Like, you don't really, Vitalik isn't really going to make a statement about what's going to happen next without it really kind of being a sure thing. Unfortunately, he didn't give us a specific date. He just said a month and a bit. So that might mean March 1st, something like that, that it'll actually test the network will come, and we'll all kind of get to see how it reacts.
Yeah, yeah, we'll look forward to that because it'll be nice, and it'll be nice to see actual an example of sharding in a blockchain and see how it develops. But he also commented on Casper, which I don't know if you've read too much about that, Bob, but chime in if you have.
No,
So
fill me in.
Ethereum does a proof of work protocol to confirm the transactions on a ledger, but the Casper consensus protocol would be switching from proof of work to a proof of stake, which requires no actual work to be done from like a CPU or GPU standpoint. It's no longer this sort of like complex problem solving. Instead, in the Casper proof of stake system, it's people just whoever owns Ethereum, they stake it, and that just means sort of like not trading with it and just putting it in a designated wallet. And that is able to, it's more complicated than I know, but that alone is how the transactions are confirmed, just based on being able to figure out the total amount of Ethereum coins that are in existence based on the staking. So it's more environmentally friendly, and it's supposed to be less, or it's supposed to be a less energy intensive procedure to allow the transactions to occur on the network.
Okay, and he's speaking about it potentially being delayed or put on the back burner.
Yeah,
Looks
so
like.
it's currently in testing, so they're actually kind of like using it, I guess, in their tests, which is not really a big step towards adoption. But I remember this Casper thing was being brought up a bunch last year, and I guess they're actually testing it now. So
It's good to work out the kinks before launching it, just so it doesn't get hyped up and then turn out to be kind of another disaster.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and so it looks like overall Ethereum, a lot of development going on behind the scenes. So we don't always hear about this stuff because it's kind of, you just hear about the supply and demand and all the pumps and the hype, but to actually see some updates on progress being made to the network is encouraging, and it is probably the reason for the pump right now.
Well, they're going to make some moves because there are a number of other platform tokens out there that are racing to take over. So if they don't, then they risk kind of being left in the dust.
Yeah, that's true. And actually, in the other platform coins, I noticed that EOS isn't doing too much, but Neo is pumping quite a bit with Ether in this way, and also 0x.
Hmm.
0x is the thing. It was pumping over the last few days, and I own a little bit of that too. So it looks like the platform tokens are getting are doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, well, and with Icon as well, you're
Oh yeah.
seeing some major shifts. It's going to be good. I think that there is enough space for all of these platform tokens to be successful. So um, yeah, we'll see. I don't think there's going to be one distinct winner. I think there's going to be just 10 to 20 of them just operating all at the same time, and whatever their use cases are will be there have ICOs based on that.
Yeah, it seems that way, and also the particulars of different regulatory bodies. So we talked about Neo before, and I encourage everybody to go back and watch our video about Neo. They're very much interested in conceding to the regulatory bodies of China, and that's something that Ether hasn't really incorporated into their system. So there's going to be nuances in different coins or different platform coins that make them more attractive for sure.
Definitely, I'm sure that Vitalik will speak with Putin about it and get on board with whatever Russia's got to say about it.
Yeah, definitely. He's the poster boy of Russia right now.
Yeah. That being said, he did move to here to Canada when he was a kid, so maybe him and Justin Trudeau are good friends.
Is he in Canada right now?
I don't know if he's in Canada right now, but I know that he went to the University of Waterloo here in Ontario,
Oh,
and yeah, yeah. So
nice.
yeah, so he I think he grew up in the area as well. So
Damn. You and
we'll
Vitalik,
see.
basically brothers.
Well, yeah, I think we grew up in the same neighborhood, but yeah, unfortunately, I'm slightly older and drastically dumber, so I don't think we'd hang out.
Yeah, it'd be fun. We should get him on the podcast so you and him can have a real discussion on Ethereum.
Or just, the things going on around Kitchener or Waterloo.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So with that, we're going to wrap it up. But I want to thank everybody for watching. And if you like what we're doing, please tell a friend who isn't into crypto to watch this to get into crypto. And click like or subscribe or give us a comment if you've got any opinions on what you think about the Tether situation or the Ethereum network and whether or not you like what they're doing.
Yeah, don't forget to share on Facebook, Reddit, Steam, 9gag, 4chan, whatever you got.
Tumblr.
Telegram.
Yes, please do all of that. And if you don't have a Binance account, use mine or Rob's referral code. I put my Robinhood code instead of my KuCoin code up there because Robinhood is going to be a big deal for crypto, and they're adding that in February. So definitely sign up to Robinhood for commission-free trading in equities or in crypto. And with that, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.